and the economy is getting tough. I really wish that a lot of men are here today, but we'll just go ahead and talk to the few ones that are here. We need another stream of income. And above all, we also need to position ourselves, because the way it is, if you actually look at the Nigerian economy and what the leadership of this country are doing, you realize that there is no solution in sight at the moment. And the solution may not even come, even though the solution will come. It may not come on time. So we need to now know that as men, especially those of us who are married, you need to know that you are the one in charge of your house. You are the government of your house. And if your house is going to be sweet, fun, then it is up to you to make that happen. It is up to you. It is your responsibility to make that happen. And it's not just going to happen overnight. You have to be deliberate about making that happen. So, and that is the reason why I decided to say, okay, let's have an event whereby we bring men together and talk about the things that we can do, other things that we can actually do to help us, survive these hard times. Because imagine now that bag of rice, some places they are selling for 80,000, some place 70,000. Then imagine at the end of the year how much it will be if this thing is not arrested on time. Imagine how much dollar was at the beginning of this year and how much it is now. And then we can now visualize and imagine how much it could be at the end of the year. I never thought in my wildest dream, January 1st, 2023, that before the end of December 2023, before the end of that year, dollar will become 1,000 naira. It was like a mystery, like dollar will to 1,000. But what is 1,000? It is now more than 1,000. Now, some people are saying if you get to 2,000, some people are saying, I will get 2,000, it will not get 2,000. Like joke. It has been there is going gradually. You get? Sir? Imagine, pound is 2,000 plus. So you never can tell what will happen. So it is your own responsibility as a man to now say, okay, how do I now survive this thing and then have an edge? This training is supposed to be a paid training, actually. But as a matter of fact, this is my first training in Ibadan, my first physical training that is outside church that I'll be doing. And that's why I decided to say, okay, since it's free, since it's my first training, let me do it for free. For those who will be able to attend it, they'll benefit for free and have the privilege to learn some few things for free. But of course, people don't value free things. So the next time they will be needing my service, they will have to pay for it. Some of the information some of the things I will expose you to today are things that, except by miracle, some of them will get access to it. Except maybe by miracle. That is when they will have access to some of the information I want to share with you today. So, except or otherwise they decide to pay for it. Even if they pay for it, there are some things you pay for that you don't even get value for it. So I want to congratulate you guys for being around today. If you know you have one or two persons that is around that you feel that you can compel to come, good and fine. We still have time, because it's something that will change their life. But of course, you can't force people to attend the training. We have other persons coming from other places, actually, but they will meet us along the line because I've actually said the program starts by 10, and we have actually gone beyond our time now. So please, in between, I will have to check my phone to see those who are trying to get the location and all of that so that I can help coordinate them here. So you will just give me that free time, that opportunity. All right, so moving away from that, we are going to be starting with the first thing, which is the questionnaire you have with you. I want to believe that everybody has filled this questionnaire. Now, this is a financial intelligence test. I have come to understand that for you to be financially free, you need to first evaluate yourself as a person and as a man. Some of us may not be married, some of us are married, but you need to actually know where you stand. Where is your financial stand at the moment? Because I've understood that people are trying to be financially free, but have not really understood the concept of financial freedom. Welcome, sir. You can sit down. I've not really understood the concept of financial freedom. Please, sir, you help us fill this. It's for you, so just fill it. So, for the very first time, some of you may be seeing your financial stand from this questionnaire here because it's very, very important. You are taking it home and then you need to work on it. Behind it, you will see the scoring behind it. So, if you have, if no or I don't know is 0 to 4, then you are in good shape. You need to keep it up. If your no that you tick or the I don't know that you tick is from 0 to 4, you are in good shape. You are in good financial state. So, if your no or I don't know is from 5 to 10, you are actually on the right track. You need to improve. If it's from 5 to 10, you are on the right track. All you need to do is just to improve. So you need to now count the zeros now. So I want you to feel that, do that, take that questionnaire with utmost sincerity right now. Are you getting it now? Then, if your no or I don't know is from 11 to 12, you actually at a weak pause. You need to actually revive and then you need revival. You need to revive yourself. You need to know that you have a lot of work to do as a man. As a man. So then, if your no or I don't know is 13 and above, you need life. You need to, I don't know what to actually say, but I think you need an extra attention. You need extra attention. So go through the question again and be able to count your numbers of no and write it, your no and I don't know, and then write it down below that distance so that you will know the numbers that you are right now. Let's quickly do that before we move to the next item. Okay. Is it? Sir? No, not the slide. We're not doing this time. So tobacco will good and fine. Then there is a video that is coming up after this. Yeah, that link is a video that's coming up. Yes. So as I said, it's a financial literacy program. So we need to know our financial stand. I actually got this. It actually blessed me from Dr. Lumide Emmanuel. And I think you also need to know what you need to do. He's having a program January, I think next year, January, Entrepreneurship Academy, January 2025 edition. So if you have the chance, you can plan to attend that edition. That event is going to actually change your life too, because it actually changed mine. So please take your time, plan for the event. It's next year. The next event is coming up next year, January. So that will help you. All right. So as we move along into today's event, I'm going to give us some few minutes to actually go through the test and write the numbers below the sheet. Then we can talk about it, and then we'll move into the next thing that we need to do. Is that okay? All right, good. So what you're supposed to do now is to write the number of your no or I don't know below the sheet. This is a workshop. We are not just to talk and talk and talk. We're going to be interacting. I'm going to be sharing some key secrets that will help men move from where they are to where they want to be. Yeah, for the women that have been asking how do they have access to this, although since it's live, I don't know, you actually benefit from this too. But I just feel like you're also here to ask questions and interact with me. All right. So are we through? If you need pen, you can ask for pen. òkè pátápátá wá. Ẹ gun òkè pátápátá. Ẹ gun wá sókè pátápátá. Portion plaza gangan. Yeah. And Josh, I mean, rest. Go back to be 11:30. You can elevate peace and the peace sound. One day, my boy. 11:30. Yeah. Bros, please, there's somebody outside. I think it's coming up. So once it comes, what we want to do, they can feel it. Okay, bye. Let him sit down here. So you can shake there so that can be. Sir, I'm a share video in my play. Okay. Okay. All right. So if you have, we all know our scores now, right? We all know our scores now. So and then you know where you fall into. I'm not going to ask us. I'm not going to ask us, but let me see. There's only just one I want to ask. How many of us is from number 1? You have just 0 to 4. No, or I don't know. 0 to 4. 0 to 4. None. Okay. So, how many of us have 5 to 10? No, or I don't know. None. Okay. Good. All right. So that means almost everybody here, we have work to do. We have work to do. Honestly, we really have work to do. So, and it's very, very important that you understand the fact that as a man in this 2024, the issue of financial freedom is one of the things you must take very, very important. And you must actually put serious effort on. It's something you must decide to do with the whole of your heart, because things are not going to get easy soon. And as a man, you need to position yourself that whatever comes your way, you need to tackle them. All right, so we are going to be showing another video that will help us move from where we are now to the next phase. After that video, we'll talk about it, and then the presentation will start properly. But all I just want you to know is that this is a life-changing event. I'm going to be exposing some key things that I do that I think everybody here should start doing in this 2024. I'll just share a few. So as we journey along, build our relationship in 2024, you may get to know some other things. But at least these few things that I'm going to share with you today should help you start running with your finances. So the video, as you watch the video, please, I want you to also take notes, because we're going to talk about the video. And at the same time, I also want you to just relax. Give and take, latest by 2, we should be out of this place. Before 2, we should be out. But just know that the reason for coming today is to acquire knowledge that will help us make more money. So there is no amount of time you spend acquiring this knowledge that is too much. You get it? So, and then, of course, it's a free training. So we just have to enjoy ourselves and learn. That is the most important thing, the knowledge part. So I expect us to put down things as you are watching the tutorial, and see how you will learn from, pick some few important points that will help you in your financial journey in this 2024. Okay. The video will come up now, and then we can enjoy it together. So let's just give them some time so that they can get it up and running. So as the media, as they set up the video, few things. Today's training is divided into 3 phases. The first phase of the training is to talk about your current financial status, because we need to know where you are financially. You need to know where you are financially before we begin to build on other things that will help you make more money. So those things now that you have seen is the first thing you need to go home with and begin to ask yourself, you don't have this, you don't have that, you need to put this in place, you need to put that in place. Very, very important that you do that. Then the second thing is going to be talking about the mindset shift that we need as men to help us make money in 2024. Then moving away from that, we're going to have another speaker coming to talk to us more a little bit on mindset. Then we're now going to go into practicals. I will now begin to show you the things that I do, so that the things I've been doing, then how you can also start doing them to make dollars. Then we'll look at some of the accounts that you must have as men, if you want to be financially free. So we'll be looking at these things as we're journeying along this tutorial. So that's just how it's going to go. Then the first thing we want to talk about now is I've realized that a lot of persons, especially men, from my book that I'm going to be launching in April, I said something about, the title of the book is Avoidable Money Mistakes That Men Made. And one of the avoidable money mistakes that men make from the book is depending on one stream of income, one source of income. I've realized that a lot of men now are just surviving on one source. One source. The video will come up. Once the video comes up, you watch the video, then we'll talk about it. One source of income. And as a man, for you to survive this 21st century challenge, you need more than one source. Very, very important. Then the other mistake men make is that they depend on earned income. There are about different types of income. We have the earned income, the passive income, the portfolio income. I'm going to be talking about that in our subsequent meetings as we meet. But a lot of men in this generation depend majorly on earned income. What is earned income? Earned income is a kind of income that you get after a service or within a period of time. Basically, it means the money you get after exchanging your time. So, for example, you work for 30 days, and at the end of 30 days, you are given a salary. So what you have just received is called earned income. Or, for example, you are a painter. Somebody asks you to come and paint for them. And then when you got there, you do the painting. After the work, they give you your money. So that is earned income. Or you have a business you are going, you are running. By the time somebody comes and buys something from your shop, it's earned income. Why? Because you have to be physically present there for you to earn that money. If you're not earned. Earning, just like earn. Yeah, earn. E-A-R-N. Then you can now add E-D. So, income that you have to exchange your time before you make. And it's very, very dangerous as men if the whole thing that you make, money that you make, you have to be physically present before you make that money. Honestly, it's a very big problem. It's dangerous, honestly. It's dangerous for you to, the only way money comes into your hand is when you exchange your time for money. And the way the economy is going, if you want to depend on that, it's going to be very challenging because things are going to get tougher, things are going to get more expensive, and that means for you to begin to make good money, you have to begin to do what my boss, my mentors, Dr. Olumide Emmanuel called multiple labor. He actually put it in this way. Let me put it in his word. He called it multiple struggle. Multiple struggle. He said some people will say they are doing trying to do what they call multiple stream of income, and they end up doing multiple struggles. What it means is that see some person Probably they are teachers. They will go to school, teach from Monday till maybe around 4 or around 2. Then from 2, they have a special tutorial class that they take, maybe like 3 families. You know, they go for one family from 2 to 3. They take one family just 1 hour. Then they move to another family from 3 to 4. They take another 1 hour. They move to another family from 4 to 5. That is 3 families, just like that. Then after that, from 6 o'clock to maybe about 8, they have a POS point that they also need to go and resume to. You know, they leave that place, go to the POS point and close to about 8, and then they retire for the day. So they have to be physically present. For them, they are earning money from different sources, but they have to be physically present there before they make that money. And they call it multiple stream, that they are making money from different places. But the truth of the matter is that it is called multiple struggle. From the words of Dr. Olumide Emmanuel, it's called multiple struggle because you have to be physically present there to make those money. So in 2024, you have to begin to think of how to generate wealth, how to generate money from different sources without you being physically present there as a man. Because that is one of the major challenges men do. And you see that is why you see that majority of, if you look at my HOD was given an analysis, he made a research, and he realized that men die earlier than women. Okay? So he did that, and when you actually look at it, he told us that he went to an event for volunteering. And when he was filling the form, asking those women, Okoyinko, where's your husband? He said, Otikutipe. He don't die, don't take. You ask another one, Okoyinko, Otikutipe. Don't die, don't take. So majority, he said about 75% of the women he interviewed, he talked to, their husband was no more. And when he asked them, he said, Otikutipe, that means it has been long that they passed away. So why? Because you see, men have this tendency of, I want to meet up with responsibility. I want to make sure that my family is okay and do like this. And they have everything they want. So because of that mindset, you see men juggling different things together to survive. Putting a lot of things together to survive, running from pillar to post, you know, doing everything doable to make sure that they put food on the table and make the family happy. But in the real sense, Aralunfa Bosi, the body is getting weaker on a daily basis. As you do those struggles, the body is getting weaker. And that is the reason why I decided to streamline this training for men so that we'll understand that every step we take counts. And we don't even need to begin to overstress ourselves because we want to make money in this 21st century. People are making money legally, legitimately, good money that we don't have to run from pillar to post before you make it. Again, for the last 1 year now, the only thing that makes me travel, leave my house, is 2 things. Number 1, about 2 or 3 actually. Number 1, if I'm going for training, maybe I want to go and attend a training. Either I paid for the training or they invite me to come and speak. That's number 1 thing that takes me out of my house. Number 2, probably I want to go and see my mom or my siblings. To take me out of the house. Then number 3, which is supposed to be the number 1 and which is the most ultimate, is if I'm going to church. If I'm going to church, either Sunday service, evening program, or all of that. Those are just the 3 things that takes me out. Any other thing, maybe I want to go and buy fuel and all of that. But that I'm going house, I have to leave the house because I want to make money and come back. I'll not make income. Okay, you can pause, sir. Yes, sir, it is. But let's pause it. We'll come up. So the only reason why I will have to go out is because of those things. It's because of those. I do not hurry out of the house on Monday morning because I have been able to train myself, condition myself, build myself to earning online and then doing it passively. So it's a good thing that you are around. I want us to watch this video. It's about a 10-minute video. It's part of our time So we are here together to learn. So please, it's going to be an interactive section. I'm not going to be saying too much, but at the same time, no one is an island of knowledge, so we're going to learn from one another as we await other persons to join us. All right. So please take note of as you watch this video, and I want to believe that we're going to learn a whole lot from it. All right, sir, let's go.
Hard-earned wages from delivering water. What Bruno didn't realize was that his body was starting to stoop from carrying heavy buckets every day. His face looked worn and his body tired. Soon, he began to carry less and less water due to the wear and tear on his body.
A major problem we have as freelancers is the infrastructure for payments. We have clients outside the country.
Month after month, Pablo worked. Soon a year passed, and then a second year. Finally, Pablo finished his pipeline. He now used his pipeline to deliver water to the village instead of carrying buckets. Pablo was now earning more money than ever before. The water continued flowing to the village, while Pablo wasn't working. While he slept and ate, the water flowed. Pablo was happy and proud of his insight, persistence, and hard work. Now his income flowed as long as the water flowed through his pipeline. The story of Bruno and Pablo is a reflection of life. Their jobs symbolize what most people do to earn money. Bruno gets his money using buckets. He goes back and forth, carrying his buckets from the spring to the village in exchange for money. To increase his income, he either has to go more frequently to the spring or to use larger buckets. It's common in real life to increase our income by working harder. For example, working overtime or getting a second job. We also increase the size of our buckets by accepting a higher paying position, which often includes spending more time on the job. Most of us exchange time for money like Bruno. We know that every person has only 24 hours in the day and that it's not possible to use all our time to work. The most difficult time comes when we can no longer exchange time for money due to age, health, or other reasons. Then, our income stops. Now let's review what Pablo did. Very wisely, Pablo did not exchange all of his time for a limited income, but he used some of his time to build a pipeline. He knew that the pipeline would bring ongoing income as long as the water flowed. An ongoing income that multiplied the time he worked each day. Pablo knew that someday, maybe because of age or health, he would no longer be able to exchange his available time for money.
So please, let's put our hands together. All right. So now is time to communicate. I want to hear from everyone. Very, very important. What do you learn from that lesson, from this short video? Please, I want us to be free. We are all men, so there is no need to, being cold. We are all here to learn, and we are all young people. So there is no baba among us. So please, let's just feel free to talk. I want to believe you learned one or two things from that short presentation, right? Yeah. So let me hear from you.
From my end, I think being like Pablo,
Yeah.
from what we worked there,
Yeah.
Pablo was of the idea of building an empire.
Okay.
So, we know to make sure that it might really take it time, but just putting more effort, and he believes in consistency. So he's very consistent in what he never get discouraged. Not even minding the fact that what he's building up is not really bringing him money, like it's not getting him money. I think the two keywords which he just used in the beginning is consistency and not being discouraged in whatsoever we are doing,
Okay.
to building a business. So that's one.
All right. Thank you. Who else also wants to add to that?
I think what I learned from that video is discipline and focus,
Okay.
determination, especially on the aspect of Pablo,
Okay.
who actually know that where he was going to. That is focus. He knew what he wanted to achieve because he had experienced the hard work, and that taught him a lesson. He has sat down to think of a possible way to make life easier for him. So he never mind whether it will take him time to build a pipeline, but he knew that with the time he want to cover, it's just for a matter of time, but he's going to enjoy it later. So that focus, determination, and discipline is what all of us need to learn from that particular video. Just be focused and disciplined in anything you do, knowing that you are going to get out of that particular. And that was actually smart on the aspect of Pablo.
Pablo. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. You also.
One of the lessons I learned from it is just like an average human,
Okay.
people tend to believe in the conventional way of doing things.
Wow.
This is how we do it
Okay.
to get this result. And the world we have now, doesn't have to be this way to get the same results. You have to be innovative sometimes. Then from what you chipped in from the opening speech you gave us, Bruno believed he had to be there to make the supply available. The other guy was thinking out of the box. He was thinking way beyond. Well, probably that's some people. There's no amount of time you spend with them. They find it so hard to think out of the box. They so much believe in the conventional way of doing things. This is how we do this. So the other guy didn't believe in thinking out of the box. He has to be there to supply the water. The other guy felt, okay, it might take me time, but I'm not going to do it the same way. I can still, make a device, do something that would, bring the supply, and I don't have to be there. So that's one of the things I learned from it.
Okay. Thank you. I think that's great.
Thank you. What I saw in the video, one of the things I saw there is smart work.
Okay.
I'm building for long time.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter the time it takes. It doesn't matter. The main thing is to identify your goal and try to work on it and achieve it. Thank you.
Okay. Good. Who else also want to add something? Okay.
think my observation from that video is that majority of us, we are like Bruno. Yes, we we depend so much on our skill, on our service, on our strength, on what we are doing presently. We are not so mindful of the future when those skills, the strength will kind of fail us. So we are more like Bruno. And what I learned from that video is that we need to create a system that even if you are not there, even when you are weak, even if you have physical disadvantage or geographical disadvantage, your money will still be flowing. Like that water keeps on flowing,
Flowing.
it keeps on flowing. But like Bruno, after a while, he got weak and he could not earn as much as he used to earn.
Yeah.
So that was like it.
All right. Who else again wants to contribute? I think we have good contributions so far. Yeah, now this is it. You all gave a very good point. The major reasons why I decided to have us men come and talk is this. You see, you have to understand that now that we are young, we have the strength. Like the first guy, we have the strength to work and make money. I have come to understand, I've met people, I've done trainings all over, some key areas. And on financial literacy, I've met people, I've interacted with people. People have asked me questions. Now, this thing I'm about to say does not have to do with either you are in Nigeria or not. I have people in the US and UK who are also reaching out to me for avenues of how they can actually make more money. Now, this is it. I've come in contact with people who are in their 50s, in their 60s, and even almost in their 70s. And they are still struggling to see how they can make more money. They are still struggling to see how they can actually make much more money. The reason is because what they are making is not enough, and responsibilities keep piling up. And I thought about it and I said, young people, we that are still young and we are still making money like the first guy, some of us are not actually thinking of 20, 30 years to come when we will not have that energy to do those running around that we are currently doing. Now we are active, we are agile, we can move from pillar to post, trying to make things happen. But brother, let me tell you, it is not going to be like this forever. It's not going to be like this forever. There was a time, Mr. Felix knows, there was a time I used to travel from Ibadan to Jalingo, Taraba State. From Taraba State, if I get to Taraba State that night, in fact, that same night, I can decide to enter a vehicle from Taraba to Makurdi. From Makurdi to Jos. From Jos to Nasarawa. From Nasarawa to Kebbi. From Kebbi to Sokoto. From Sokoto to Katsina. From Katsina to Kaduna. That is to Zaria. Because then my wife's schools are Zaria. So I will do all those journeys. Within 1 week, I have toured all those places. Within 1 week. So then I have to do projects. I have WORKTRACK Africa is more like an NGO that our thematic area is to develop young people in the area of entrepreneurship and financial literacy. So most of the time, I have partnership with local governments, state governments. At times, I do a private project where I train people on entrepreneurship. So we have to travel to do this training. Then one day, I just sat down and I was just thinking about the whole thing. I said, wait, this one will be say I have to travel and do events and do things before my family will eat, before I'll be able to have money and say, okay, let's put food on the table. What will happen to my family if I break down today and I'm unable to jump from pillar to post and organize events and all of that? What will happen? For some of you who are married, I want you to take a moment and ask yourself, the job you are currently doing, what will happen if it's taken away from you? Number one. Number two, if you are not currently working in an organization, you have your own personal business. Just ask yourself, what you are currently doing for yourself, what will happen if you break down, suddenly break down for 1 week or 2 weeks, or you even have to break down for 1 month? What will happen? How will your family survive? your wife have the financial strength to take the family for a longer time? You know, these are the sensitive questions that we need to ask ourselves as men. And that's why this program is just dedicated for men alone. Because the pressure is getting much on men, and it will continue that way. The pressure will still continue. Imagine if a bag of rice gets to 100,000, even 150,000. And there must be food in the house. The children do not know that one thing is Buhari or Tinubu that is the president. It's none of their business. What is their business? Their business is they want to eat. They want to go to school. School fees must be paid. And all of those things. So for some of you who have not married, it's a privilege for you to begin to sit down and structure and say, okay, this is how I want to structure myself moving forward. So that by the time I get married, you will not have to experience financial issues. So I want to advise and encourage us that as we continue in this event, the whole thing we're going to be learning should not end here. When we get home, we need to sit down and ask ourselves, what is the way forward? Now, here's the challenge. To create a sustainable stream of income that will continuously give you money for the rest of your life, even when you are even on your old age, and even when you are no more, that your children will keep benefiting from it, is hard work. That's just the truth. It appears to be smart work at the long run, but at the immediate, when you're going to get that done, it's hard work. It's a deliberate thing. It's something that will have to stress you to make it happen. Look at the other guy. He does his delivery of water during the day, and during the rest of the day, he spent it building his dream, because he has a vision that he wants to stop working for money. He wants to create a structure where money will keep coming. The first guy was making the money, he was happy, he was making more money, build a house, and all of that. But he get to a point, his health failed him. He couldn't make the money again. So the second guy was smart enough to work a little during the day and spend the rest of the day building a longer time vision. So that by the time he could no longer work again, those things will be bringing money for him. So let me tell you, I've seen elderly people who are calling their children for money, and I can see frustration in their faces when they have to wait for their child to send them money before they survive. Some of them, the government has failed them because the pension they are expecting is not even there. The government have borrowed it. So, no money. They are hoping and believing that something happens. And I don't want us to live our life on expectance, just depending on people or depending on the government for something to happen. Every man here is the president of his own house. And if the economy of the nation is not going the direction of how we want it to be, how about the economy of your house? What is the things you are putting in place to make sure that the economy of your house is intact? Come rain, come sun, there will be food to eat. Whatsoever happens health-wise, you have emergency funds to take care of it. You know, so these are the things that we should put in place as men, and we need to think long-time pace. It's not about the money we are making now, but time will come, we will not be able to do that work anymore. And that is why, if we are wise enough, this is the time to begin to build something for the future. Build something for the future. I'm going to share with us some of the things I started building and some of them that have started paying off. It wasn't easy building those things when I started. But I told myself that whatsoever it takes, it has to be done. Because I understand that time will come that I may not have the ability to be jumping up and down, that I'm looking for money. And I also told myself, I want a structure, I want to create a structure whereby I can stay anywhere in the world and make money. So, very, very important. That is the kind of mindset I want us to live here with today. Number one mindset, a mindset that anywhere you are, you make money. Then number two, a consistent stream of income that even when you are no more, your children will keep benefiting from it. Then if you can achieve those two things, you are good. It is called passive income. When you create a passive income structure that you don't need to be physically present there for you to make money, honestly, you have solved your financial problem 100%. Honestly. So, We are going to be having the next speaker in a few minutes. Immediately it comes up, he's going to speak. I want to make sure the slides flow. But before then, I don't know if we have one or two questions to ask from the short video. We've done our contribution. If you have one or two questions concerning what the other guy did that you feel, if you want to create a long time source and you have some concern concerning that, you can just ask, then we treat that before the next speaker comes up. It's very close. I don't want to pick up something else and then we break in between, and I don't want to keep him waiting also. So if you have questions concerning the other guy, how he was able to structure himself to build a long time word for himself, maybe we'll just do like 2 to 3 minutes Q&A section, then we move into the next thing. Yes, we'll come up. Sir, share video what's ready. Okay, slide one. Yeah, then. Oh, and then, okay. Okay. All right, so for some of you who maybe see me for the first time, meeting me for the first time, and some of you who have known me for quite some time, everything I've achieved so far has been contribution from my coach, and I'm very happy that he was able to attend. I've been begging him to attend to help us come make sure that we start from a very good note. And luckily, he's also here. So please, I want you to also listen to him. Some of us already know him. He has been a blessing to me for a very long time, and he will still continue to be a blessing to me. And I believe as men, we need this foundation to help us, make more money as we journey along 2024. So please put your hands together as you welcome my coach, my mentor, Isan. So some of you online, it's a privilege for you to meet my coach free, without paying. So I want you to take note as you come up.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. This is the stage, right? All right, yeah. I'm really excited to be here, and I want to appreciate my very good guy, a brother of mine. As I was coming now, I remember we met 2011, around July. We had a project for UCH, which was August 4, 2011. Yeah, I remember. So I don't know how many years is that, and it's been a very wonderful relationship between me and Mr. Peter Adder. I'm excited to be here, everyone. I can see some faces I know here. Those of you online, you're welcome as well. Thank you very much for joining. It's a free event, but and it's understandable that some people will not take it very serious. However, I understand very clearly that it is good that some will not take it serious, because what we are talking about is not for everybody. All right? I used to be in a percentage of people that are very poor. And so what I want to share with us very quickly is to let us know, I'm happy that it's all men. There's no lady among us. It's just men. So that's why I say, hello, sir. You have been programmed to be poor. It's not a cause. It's an understanding that I have, and I want to share with us. There is, without a shadow of doubt, I am very, very sure, inside and outside, that I am not poor. And I know some other people will say they are not poor as well, but there are certain things by which we can use to weigh whether you are really poor or not. But the truth of the matter is only a few will accept. By looking inward, they will know that there is a lot of work to do on themselves in terms of finances. So as men, I just want to share with us a few thoughts to let us know that somehow we have been programmed to be poor. My next slide, I've been programmed to be poor. And what that means is that your background, your society, school, and parents have conditioned you in a certain way that has shaped your thinking, which has now become your personal reality. What I'm saying in essence is that consciously and unconsciously, we don't know that somehow they have programmed us while we were growing up. school has programmed us, parents conditioned us, background that we grew up from can also condition us to be poor. And it's very, very unfortunate that a lot of people are still riding on that staircase till they grow up. But why it's just to this whether to understand the, you know, fine. I know that put in a box and it is affecting us. All right. Next slide. So if you want to change the fruit, you will first have to change what do we call the root. If you want to change the visible, you must first change the invisible. What this means is this: if at any time you see that a tree is bearing a fruit that is not good, a tree is bearing a fruit that has that is bad, all right? A lot of people focus on that result. So you are wondering why you are having the result you are having financially. That is not the problem. The problem is in the root. Are we together? The problem is in the root, and I will let you understand what I mean. So when we want to change any fruit, you don't start talking to the fruit, say, why is this fruit bad and all that. What you need to do is to go and check the root of that fruit. If you can change that, that will definitely change the result of the fruit. Next slide. So what that means is this. Like I said before now, that if you want to change the visible, you have to go and change the invisible. But I'll paint this scenario to us. Imagine that you are on the system now, and you are trying to work on a document you are typing, right? And then by the time you finish your document, you hit print, like it should print, and then you plug it to the printer to print, and it prints out, and it prints out a document like this. Are we together? All right? If it prints out a document like this, and as you are looking through the document, you realize that there is a typo error on this document which you have just printed out. Okay? Are we together? Then you decided to say, oh, there's an error here, and you picked an eraser to erase the error here. Are you following? You picked an eraser to erase the error that you have here. Okay? And then you are like, oh, good, I have corrected the error. Then you now went to the system and say, oh yeah, print. And you print out. All right? Now, the question I want to ask you is this. When you print out that error you corrected here, you realize that you will still find it in that new one, right? Then you decided to say, oh, why am I still having this error? I think I have corrected it. Then you went to study a manual of like 10 pages of how to erase effectively, how to understand erasing effectively. Then you study that pages, and you understand how to erase effectively. Then you now carry another type of eraser. You now try to adjust the typo here, and you saw that you have actually adjusted it. Then you went to your system again and said, print. Does anybody understand what I'm saying? What is going to be the result is that you are still going to. So what has happened is that your problem is that you are editing it out. It is the program you have to change. You have to go to the system and here together. But let me tell you, this sounds as funny as it may sound, this is how many of us are living life. We are trying to edit the printed document after 30, after 27, after 33, 45 years old. You are trying to edit. You see, all your moves, all your lakaka, let me say it that way, to get a job, to do this, to get some, it is out of it that you are editing, all right? But what we do is to, I think that one is right about is that we are not doing an edit wrong. That is not being. Okay. So that's why I was the question to question reality. At the point in my life, I started questioning everything. I don't see everything and go. I question it. Why would this person dress like this? Why is this thing like this? Why do they always say I should sit down here? Why is life like this? Why is it that in a year I cannot make more than so amount? I used to question it, but most people don't do that. In trying to question, you are editing what you need to edit in the program of our lives. Are we together? Next slide. So that tells us that your problem is that you are editing the printout. It is the program you need to change, which has to do with our mindset. There is something that we have been programmed with. There is a programming that is consciously and unconsciously operating in our lives. And there is no amount of understanding of how to do investment portfolio, how to make money. There's no amount of that we can say that can make any difference if somebody does not edit the program. Next slide. All right. So this is a concept which I think you might have come across it. Everything that we are doing starts from a thought, feelings. That thought goes to our feelings. Our feelings is what makes us to act, brings about an action. Whatever action you exhibit is your result in life. So everything starts from a thought. You start to think about it, then that thinking creates a feeling of lack. That feeling of lack definitely will make you begin to act like someone that is poor. And as a result of acting that way, you see that the result of our lives is not fruitful. That is what is happening. Next slide to see. Now, where does your thought come from? Your thought originates from the files of information you have in the storage of your mind. Everybody needs to understand that thought does not just come. Thoughts comes, it originates from the files of information you have in the storage of your mind. So why will this thing print out is because there are thoughts that has been put down on the system. So as there is no way if we print it out, this is the thought is what is going to reflect on this. All right? So it is a kind of something that is stored in our mind. Next slide. Let me move. All right? So what you then need to understand is this. So basically, as I have discussed with you, that thoughts, feelings, actions, result. But thought does not just start, and it is not actually that it starts from thinking, from your thought alone. Why I had to do this is for us to understand that, because you now understand that there is a programming. Because we now understand there's do we understand there's a programming? Let me not just assume, all right? Do we not understand there's a programming? Now, what that means is that we should take the P in front of T. Programming is actually the first thing. It is the programming of Microsoft on the system, all right, that leads to the thinking, that leads to your feeling, your action, and the result in our lives. We must understand that everybody has a program. There's a program that is in your head. The reason why you are behaving the way you are behaving is not because something is wrong with you. It's because there's a programming that is already there. Because there's a programming that is operating. I saw my dad early in life had some brand new cars, Santana, Volvo, you know, we had bus to take us to school. And suddenly everything went. And I saw the other side of poverty. And unfortunately, the time I was seeing the other side of poverty is when I started understanding life. So that is a program for me. There was a programming in our family that nobody wants to go to the university. Everybody was rushing to go to Polytechnic. So I entered that programming. I went to Polytechnic until I started realizing that there's a programming. I said to myself, no, I am going to break this thing. Left the Polytechnic. I said, I am going to the university. Now, some of us may think that is just how it happens. No, it's programming. It's programming. Some of us feel that you cannot spend 50,000 naira in a hotel to have a lunch. It is a programming, because somewhere when you were growing up, somebody has told you that you are a wasteful child. It's programming that is affecting. Some of us cannot buy some kind of shoe. It's not because you cannot buy it. Something has already told you. It's a programming. You don't know, but somehow it is installed in your life. So a lot of us need to understand that the people that are doing it have no two heads. It is also programming for them too. They are programmed them to be. No, why do your children? My children can challenge me. I have a 10-year-old, I have a 8-year-old. They can say, Daddy, why are we doing it this way? But I dare not challenge my father, because growing up, there's a programming that you don't do like that. Now, this one have a programming that whatever happens, you can tell Daddy, Daddy, why on earth will you do this? It's programming. It's programming. So basically, we must understand that there's a programming operating in our lives. And that programming, consciously or unconsciously, is affecting our money blueprint. It's affecting our I had to recondition my programming to know that there is no money I cannot spend. And there is no money I cannot attract. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry, no ladies here. I attract money. And I say this before man and before, I attract money. As in money, good money. I attract money. There's a programming that I have changed to say that no, even if everybody in my family does not believe in affluence, does not believe in, in living big, living satisfactorily, I can never be in that box. It's a personal decision. Next slide. So that programming is very, very important. So if you will understand that you will uninstall today, then you will find your way. We have been conditioned in 3 primary ways in every areas of our life, including money. So let me tell us the 3 areas in which we have been conditioned, including money. See, I learned this thing. I'm saying this with my full chest. I learned it. I learned it. I learned it. I learned to say that, and I was determined to say that no. When it comes to money, I can't be in lack. I'm telling you. So those are those 3 ways in which we have been programmed. Primary ways. No, I've been programmed. Next slide. Programming. What about programming? So I heard you, but you didn't know. that control has been installed. You will have to uninstall it. Now, for example, I don't know whether you heard this, whether you had this experience. If I go to my dad and say that I need something, he will say that yeah, do I need the tree? No, that's the response. That is a programming. I heard that verbal programming many times for me to understand and believe that now I know that you can kaolorigi without doing so much. Now that it has happened to me, it's happening to me. I don't need to do so much to earn. I don't need to do so much to earn in millions and earn in dollars. I don't need to do, in fact, I may not leave my house. But if I go by the verbal programming that says, that is affecting a lot of people till today. It's affecting a lot of people till today. Some people have said some things to you. Sometimes parents will say to you and say, we are not in our own house. We are not rich. Oh. Don't go and be joining those people. We are not rich in our... That's a programming. So all of those things unconsciously have entered us. And because there's a programming, don't forget, which is P, it leads to our thoughts, which is the T, and that begins to create our feelings. Feeling. And Nigeria is this, Nigeria is that. And as a result of that, that feelings will turn to your action. And action becomes your result. That's second programming. Let's look at second programming. What did you see? Modeling. What did you see when you were young? What did you see? There are some of those things we saw when we were young are the things that are now directly or indirectly affecting our lives. We saw things. We didn't see good things. We don't see good things. See, let me tell you, if a child is taken out regularly when he was young to see good environment, to see good stuff, to see good places, to see good cars, that side has a way of affecting the child. To see good schools, to see swings, and all of that in good secondary school, it has a way of affecting the child. So some of the things we saw growing up has affected us. I tell you this and I have had people say this, that I've had people have the same experience of the fact that I see my dad fight with my mom. I see my dad argue with my mom, slam the door on my mom, do all sorts. I've seen that happen very well growing up. Those are the things I saw. So when I got married, it was easy for me to shout at my wife, to slam the door at my wife, except that programming changed. That is why I could not do it. But the tendency was there. Because I saw it growing up. I felt the best way to be a real man is for you to shout at women and tell them you cannot try that in my house. If you do that, you are out of this house. Not forgetting that both of you fought to get all those things together. It's a programming. It's a programming. What we saw is affecting us, even financially as well. Number 3, this is specific incidents. What did you experience when you were young? What did you experience when you were young? There's a model they call Johari model. It's not in my style. What Johari model is all about, you can go and read about it, is that there are certain things people know about you and you know about yourself. There are things that some people here know about me and I know about myself. There are things that some people know about me, but I don't know about myself. There are things that you may know about me, but I don't know about myself. The third level is there are things that I know about myself, but nobody in this world knows. Nobody else. I'm 43 now. There are things I did when I was a teenager, somewhere in the corner of one street. You know, things like that, if the memory comes to you, somehow, you are the only one. You have never opened your mouth to tell any human being on earth. And the fourth thing, there are things that people don't know about you, you don't know about yourself too. People don't know, you too don't know. Only your maker knows. So those 4 levels are very, very, but the third one is what we are talking about here. What are the experiences you have had, which is now influencing the way you are attracting money, the way you are not attracting money. Next slide. Next slide. So very critical, 4 elements of change that will reprogram you for wealth. 4 elements of change that will reprogram you for wealth. 4 elements of change that will reprogram you for wealth. Number 1 is that you must be aware. Awareness. Awareness. You can't change something unless you know it exists. We need to be aware. We need to be aware. We need to be aware. But just tell you should be sure that you need to know that you are not rich. I'm telling you, don't be negative. This is not negative. You need to know that I am not there. That's the truth. That's the truth. You need to know that you are not there. Awareness is very, very important. So we need to open our awareness to the fact that, I am not really there yet. Number 2, it is understanding. By understanding where your way of thinking originates, then it is easy to acknowledge it came from outside. What it means is that when you are aware, number 2 is to understand all these things I am seeing. See, we are all experiencing results in our lives. Result of something. Life is about cause and effect. There's a cause that is making you to be that kind of person that, let me ask here. If anything happens now, and any one of us here, you have to bring out $1,000. Now, if you are here and you cannot be boastful of the fact that whatever happens now, and they say I should bring out $1,000, then you are not there. I'm sorry to say. We are all men here. All right? So, what I'm saying therefore is this. If you notice that is you, you should then begin to question and say, having understand my way of thinking, where it originates from, then it is now easy to acknowledge it came from outside. Meaning that we have already established for us that you can be whatever you want to be. But now that you realize that, if anything happens today, I cannot even bring out $500, not to talk of $1,000. Then you should begin to say that, what is responsible for this? But most people don't take time to answer that question. Most people don't take time to answer that question. We are very quick to say, we are very quick to say, wish. And which make me no get money. Number 3, the association. Once you realize this way of thinking is not you, you can separate yourself from it. The choice is yours. The choice is yours. The choice is yours. The choice is yours. I tell you, that's about, let's say, 13 years ago now, myself and Peter with one other person, we decided that we cannot continue like this. Why? Because we were exposed to one type of knowledge that is too powerful for us to fail. That 13 years ago, 2011, right? Yes, sir. We were so exposed to some type of knowledge that we told ourselves that we no more. We can never be poor. We were so exposed. So now, what has made the difference between then and now is that we decided if we were going to dissociate from that life or we were going to keep on staying in that level. And up he went to North to do some project in North. And then he would call and say, this is what is happening. This is what is happening. This is the result I'm getting. Then I knew that, yes, we were really disassociated. I mean, number 4, which is about the last slide. Reconditioning, by introducing yourself to mental files that generate wealth. There's a mental file that can generate wealth. There's a mental file that can generate wealth. See, the truth of the matter is, if anybody is going to be rich, if anybody is going to live satisfactorily, you must consciously all of the time sit down and recondition yourself. See, I want to beg you, from tomorrow morning, when you wake up, take time not to talk to anybody, just to be silent, be quiet and be silent. And just you are not saying any word out, but your thinking is about, you are seeing yourself having enough of money. See, this thinking is not wrong. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. These are understanding that some people don't have. What you are doing is that you are reconditioning your mind. You are reintroducing yourself to mental files that can generate wealth. All right? So somebody is saying, I don't know anybody, I don't have connection. No, that's not even where to start from. The first thing is, are you thinking rich first? Because your thinking is what will attract the wealth. It is what will attract the wealth. I thought so much this early January, I got one gig. The gig is in millions. They paid me outright 11 first. Then I said, we started, no worry, we'll start match, and they paid marry. Is it, I mean, you have that, you have thought that, be running at me, no, we are not ready now. So it is my thinking, I condition my file, money. It doesn't matter about, I can tell you, there are some ways in which that you get to think, and you are attracting wealth from a channel to expect you direct. I don't know whether you understand that. I don't know whether you understand that. And so that leads me to the understanding that one of those ways by which we can now begin to generate wealth is by us understanding that we cannot just sit down, we must make a move. And the move plus the thinking, which is with the reprogramming you already have, we begin to help you. We begin to help you. I know that Peter will still explain some practical things, but listen, let me say this. If you are very, very, very wise, and I say it with all my, if you are wise, you will listen to some of those things he wants to share about investment, about how you can make dollars. I mean, we live here in Nigeria, but we are changing dollars. Why? Because initially, he considers me, from the start, like we are colleagues, and he sees me as his mentor. But over the time, I realized that there are some understanding he has that I had to bend and say, guy, teach me. And he started teaching me. When I did one first, I saw the miracle. I said, is this one real like this? When I started doing it myself, when I started doing the investment portfolio, I now realized that this thing is really, really bringing the result. All I have said is this, like somebody said to me several years ago. They said, if you eat if you put food in your mouth, sorry, he said if you put food in your mouth and you leave it there, have you eaten? If you put food in your mouth and you leave it there, have you really eaten? You have not eaten. Why? Because putting food in your mouth is not in equation to your cell finding nutrients. All right? You can put food in your mouth, leave it there, you have not eaten. What makes us know you have actually eaten is the fact that you put food in your mouth, you chew it, you let it go down, and it digests. That is when your cells has found something. So why I said this is that coming to this place, never mind that we don't have too many people, but the little he is going to share with us, let us digest it. You will definitely love it, and you will definitely gain from it. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Well, please let's appreciate Peter once again. Honestly, for me, anytime I listen to him is a whole new experience for me. Anytime I listen to him, there was a time I came to Ibadan when I was staying in the north, and I was privileged to follow him to an event, and he said something on that day that actually added to the speed that I am experiencing. You know, on that event, he talked about positive rebellion. And that word has stuck to me like bread and butter. He said, as a young man, you will get to a point in your life where you just feel like, what is happening? When you look around you and you know inside of you that you have the ability, you have the potential, you have the skill to live more than what you are currently, your current experience. You have the, it's like you have the ability to live in a duplex and you are just living in one boys' quarter, and you know it within yourself that I'm supposed to be living more than this. He said he called it positive rebellion. That when you get to that point, that is where the change begins. And when I one thing about me, my relationship with him is that I try as much as I can. We talk like he's an elder brother to me. He's a coach to me. He's a mentor to me, and above all, I do not take his words for granted. If I go out to an event with him, I listen like a participant. I do not listen like I came with Pisa. No, I'm not like that. I listen and I take hold of the things he has to tell me. For me, I just assume that he's speaking to me. There are times I have left the north to come to Ibadan to come and listen to him speak when he's having events, several times. So I just make sure that there is no that over familiarity that will not make me receive sense from when he's talking. I've been able to build myself to that point that anytime he speaks, I get value from his words. And today I've also received another value, and I believe everyone has also received value. Now, something happened when I traveled back to the north. After that meeting, I came to Ibadan. When I returned back to the north, in the middle of the night, around 12, I woke up and I began to reflect on those words, especially the words of positive rebellion. And I begin to think of the things I already know. And I begin to look at it, the exposure that I already have. And I begin to look at people who don't have half the information that I have. And begin to see their lifestyle and compare with I know, this thing must change. I became angry with myself. I became angry inside of me that this thing must change. I did not know when I started praying. Because out of that time, I know the only thing that can help me is prayer. But the first thing is what he said, you first identifying first. That's wala. That was what I started from. Because when I looked around me, I realized that no, I should be more than where I was. But I was not there yet. So positive rebellion is key. So I believe as you go home to that will also help you to go and look at yourself. And I know some of us know that you are supposed to be more than where you are at the moment. So thank you very much, sir, for that presentation. I'm so much grateful. All right, so let's put our hands together for him. So very quickly, I want to also talk about moving away from that mindset shift that we have now. Let's talk about investment very quickly. Investment means different things to different people. Some persons, investment to them is Gambling. That is what investment is. Just take money to a betting shop and then play Bet Naija. That is what investment is to some persons, because they believe that is the only way to double their money. You get? So some persons believe that investment is putting money in Ponzi. You know, you say, once your investment can one about 20,000 naira, see, within us a meji, so a meta, 150,000. That is what investment is to some persons. You know, so because these people who brings out this Ponzi scheme understand the way people are structured and understand these things, so they also use the word investment. I want invest in a company. So to some persons, that is investment. And because of the issue of the multiple streams of income we talked about and make your money work for you mentality that is all over, they also use that and say, the best way to make your money work for you is when you put it in something like this, and then you'll be getting something in return. So they call it investment. So that is not investment. It is what it is. It is Ponzi. Are you getting now? Ponzi is Ponzi. Ponzi is not investment. So investment means different things to a different person. So what is actually investment? Investment is anything you put in fund expecting profit or return within a time frame, within a short period of, within a specific time frame. That is what investment is. So, but the question is, to you, what is investment? To you, what is investment? So, but investment is basically anything you put in your money and you are expecting return or profit within a time frame. And I also want to say this, for the purpose of some of you may not be aware, say anything you have to put your money that guarantees you a higher return of investment within a short period of time is a scam. To be specific, that guarantees you over 40% of your money within a short period of time is a scam. It's either a scam or a Ponzi. Ponzi is actually a scam, actually. So anything you put in your money that guarantees you over 40% of your investment within a short period of time, for example, they ask you to put in 100,000 in something and you are going to get 60,000 naira within 3 days. You know, and you put in just 100,000 and you are getting 60,000 within 3 days. Just know that what you are putting your money into is Ponzi and may probably not give you anything. You may even lost your capital, you know. That's it. So you need to take note of that. Now, there are three categories of investment I want you to know as we're journeying along this investment talk. The first one is called the low-risk investment. Low-risk investment. I'll explain that very quickly. The second one is called the medium-risk investment. The third one is called the high-risk investment. One of the things I've realized is that when people want to put their money somewhere, they do not first ask themselves this basic question. What category of investment is this type of investment that I want to put in my money? Is it a low-risk investment? Is it a medium-risk investment or a high-risk investment? The reason is because not everybody have the strength to withstand some particular categories of investment. So if you are not emotionally strong and you go and invest in a particular type of investment, you may develop high blood pressure. So, and that's why you need to know this as men, because as you move along, these things are very much important. You need to invest. Before I start talking about you putting money somewhere or what you need to do, you need to know these things first, so that you can ask yourself if it is something that you can do or not. And then in these three categories I've mentioned, I'm also going to be giving us examples of things you can do on each of these categories, so that will help you. Now, the first type of investment, the low-risk investment. The low-risk investment guarantees your capital, but the profit is small. So if you are investing in a low-risk investment, your capital is guaranteed, but your profit is also very, very small. So what are examples of low-risk investment? Low-risk investment, for example, one of the examples of low-risk investment is your savings account. Banks have they will tell you that if you leave your money with them for a month, you will get a particular percentage on it, on savings account. I know some of us you have relationship like that. If you leave your money in your bank account for a short period of time, you will get a particular percentage on it. So it's savings account. So, sir? It's no longer like that. You are withdrawing. But they will add something on it for you. If you do not touch it, yes. If you have money on your account, a particular money on your account, and you leave it, Not normal savings. Normal savings. We run the money. It's not much. But what I'm saying is this, your capital is secure, nothing is happening to your money. You get. Then the second one, I'm starting from the list. The second one is using fintech apps. Fintech like OP, for example. Now, if you leave your money in OP for a specific period of time, yes, you get a percentage, a particular profit percentage on it. I get me now. Then the other one is Cowry Wise. You also get percentage on that. Then they have a savings plan whereby you can lock your money for 3 months, lock your money for 6 months, a year, and then you can also lock your money for 1 year and you get interest on the money. Some gives 10% like that. So the percentage on that type of money is low, but the profit, but your capital is secured. You get it now. So for example, if you have a particular money and you don't know what to do with it, you can do that. Those type of this are called low risk investment. I get now. So anytime you are putting your money in something that you know that, okay, the profit is not much, you are not ready to use the money yet, and you don't just want it to be in the bank, you can just lock it up within a short period of time. What you have done is you have actually invested your money in a low risk investment portfolio. As simple as that. Do we get that now? Yeah. So the medium risk investment, one of the examples of medium risk investment also guarantees your capital. The profit is not also much, but the duration is a little bit longer. For example, of medium risk investment is investing in treasury bills. Investing in treasury bills. Investing in federal government bonds. So those are medium risk investment. The profit is not much, but the capital is guaranteed. So you can decide to lock in, invest in treasury bills for within a short period of time, or invest in bonds. Bonds are more longer, but your percentage is sure. And one good thing about those ones is that you will get your interest up front. The only thing you are waiting for is your capital. The only thing you are waiting for is your capital. So these are medium risk investments that you can do. So that's why I say investment means different things to different people. Some persons, this is not the kind of thing they want to do. But one of the things I used to advise people is that before you do any type of investment, the first thing that should come to your mind is the security of your capital. How secured is your money? If your capital is not secured, then there is no point investing in it. So I want us to do a little bit of research on treasury bills and federal government bonds. They are very good instruments to put in your money. Very, very good instruments. If you have a chunk sum of amount and you are not ready to use it, you can put them in treasury bills or put them in bonds. And then you get the interest up front and solve anything you want to solve and just be waiting for your capital to come. So that is just a very sweet way. Then the high risk investment are type of investment that do not guarantee your capital, but it also have high return. You can get high return profit on investment. You can get high return on your investment. So that is the example of high risk investment. So your capital is not secured, but the return on investment is sweet, is heavy. Examples of high risk investment. You know, when I share this thing, at times some people used to be very, very, very surprised. You see, owning a business is a high risk investment. And you see a lot of people jumping that they want to become entrepreneurs, they want to become shop owners. Now, did you know if you open a shop now, you rent a shop, you've rented the shop, you put in the goods there, bought the goods, the only thing they now need to do is to sit and begin to wait for customers to come. So it's high risk investment. Your capital is not secured because you are putting your money inside the business. So you are waiting for people to come and patronize you so that you can get your money. So entrepreneurship, owning a business is a high risk investment because all your capital is going inside and is not guaranteed. You may not sell. The goods may be there for 1 year. But the truth of the matter is that if it's a place where the business is moving, you can get a lot of turnover. You can even get 100% interest within weeks or even within months. The return on investment is high if you are in a very good location, but your capital is not guaranteed. You get it? So those are the things you need to know. So now other investment vehicles that are also high risk, for example, stocks, investing in shares, stocks are also high risk investments, but the returns are very, very good too. Then for some of you who love cryptocurrency, it's also a very high risk investment, but the return is also very sweet. So we have businesses that are high risk, and some who are low risk, and some that are medium risk. But, sir? Forex is 100% high risk. Forex is high risk investment. High risk investment. And e-commerce is high risk investment. Very, very high risk investment. Because you may bring your goods. I have some product I brought in that I've not been able to sell. I sold some, still remaining. So my capital is tied down. So it's high risk investment. So the thing is, you need to ask yourself this question before I invest my money as a man. Because the way the economy is going now, a lot of people will be want to try to juggle within things and see other things they can do to add to what they are currently earning. And if they are not smart enough and they are not financially intelligent enough, they will use the money that they don't have to go and put in a high-risk investment, and then they may eventually probably lose the money. And that's why I'm having this. If you want to invest in anything, the first question you need to ask yourself is, what type of investment is this? Is it a medium risk, high risk, or low risk? Then the next question you're going to ask yourself is, do you have the appetite, the stamina, or the emotional ability to bear the loss if you invest in a high-risk investment? You get, the profit is huge, but your capital is not guaranteed. So, because as we are trying to make more money, we also need to be careful not to lose the little one that we have. Do we get that now? Yeah. So very, very important. You need to ask. Sir? Yes. Real estate, you know, we're online now, so I don't know how to classify real estate, but there are a few things I want to say about real estate. Real estate is a low risk, but at the same time a high risk investment. Let me tell you the reason why I consider real estate a high risk investment. The reason why I consider a real estate a high risk investment is this. If you need money and you want to sell your property and you need money urgently, you may not sell it at the exact price. You may not sell at the value of what the product was. Yeah, the right value of the product. So that's why I consider real estate a high investment. But it now depends. Now, in all of these categories, let me now talk about a little bit about high risk investment. You see, high risk investment now have different types. On high risk investment, under high risk investment, there are still some low risk entry level. If you are going into high risk investment, some low risk entry level. For example, now if I'm going into real estate and I want to go in as to secure my capital, I can go in from the rentage aspect. So I can decide to get the property and decide to make it, turn it to a residual income thing for me. Something that will be bringing in money on a monthly or weekly basis. Just rent it out. I can get a land, and instead of waiting for the land to appreciate in value, I can do other things on the land to make money. Are you getting me now? Yes. So I can rent out the land for people to do other things, either to farm and be paying me yearly on the land, or I can rear things on the land that will be giving me steady income. I get me. So in that case now, that particular real estate project property has moved away from, because now I'm getting money from it on a daily basis. I get now. So that is how to actually look at it. Now, even in stocks that is high risk, there are some entry level that you can enter on a low risk level. For example, now, if you are investing in ETFs, ETFs are baskets of shares put together, like 200 stocks put together. So instead of buying one company's shares, you are buying like just like you go to the market, just like AMPA. When you want to buy an AMPA, there are different products inside the AMPA. So that is how ETF is. So if you are buying an ETF, you are buying different shares of different companies together. So what it means is that if you are investing in ETF, what it means is that the whole companies cannot go wrong at the same time. I don't know if you get it now. Yeah, so the whole company cannot go long as it. So that's where knowledge is needed so that you will know what you are investing into. So if I want to invest in shares now, for example, now I cannot just go and just buy any shares. I would rather invest in ETFs instead of just buying shares. So what I'm looking at is just to invest in ETFs because I know that my capital, to some extent, is secure. All the shares in that particular basket cannot go wrong. So one of the ETFs you can invest in is called S&P 500. It's the top 500 companies in the United States put together. So you can consider, I have some shares with them, and you can also do so too because it will also help build your wealth. So S&P 500. I have other ETFs. Maybe I'll share it in the group. I'll call you, sir. So there are also other ETFs that you can invest in. Then the same thing with cryptocurrency. Even in cryptocurrency, there are some entry levels that you can go into that your capital will still be secured. There are also some risky level in crypto. So that's why whatever thing you want to do, the most important thing is for us to get some level of knowledge before you invest into that category so that you will know what entry level you are investing in. Like Robert Kiyosaki said, that there are no risky investments. There are only risky investors. Risky investors. Investors who take risk without analyzing the type of risk they are taking. Hope you get that now. And that is what majority of people do. So that's why I see people lost money in investment, not because the investment is bad, but because they themselves do not really understand what the investment is all about. All right. So, do we get those level of investment now? Good. So please, moving away from that, I want to quickly talk to us about 4 major accounts every man must have. 4 major accounts every man must have. Now, if you are looking at, as time goes on, I'm going to be talking about the different financial things we must have, like having an emergency fund, having insurance and all of that. But I'm not looking at that today. Let's look at some of the accounts that you must have as a man in this 21st century if you must overcome this inflation that is coming up now. Because things are going to get a little complicated. Number one, you don't have at least to list for by Monday, the end of the month. And one is a domiciliary account. You don't have a short account. You don't. Not a tax brokerage. And I'm going to tell you the reason you need to have an account. Number one, a domiciliary account. Number two, a stock account. Then number three, a cryptocurrency account. It doesn't matter if you like cryptocurrency or not. The economy is tougher. So you know it is getting better. You will not take advantage of opportunities. So the fourth one is a dollar mutual fund account. A dollar mutual fund account. As a man, please, I want you to take these 4 accounts seriously. This is your journey to financial freedom. If you do not have these 4 accounts, then you are not ready for wealth. You are not ready for financial freedom. Honestly, you are not ready. So let me now tell you how to make use of this account. And what I do, all these 4 accounts I have, I've mentioned to you, I have them and I use them. So I'll be sharing how to use these accounts and what to do with them as we proceed. But just take note that you need these 4 major accounts. Now, domiciliary account is an account where you store dollars. You can decide to register to open a dollar domiciliary account, a euro domiciliary account, or a pounds domiciliary account. But for me, I have the dollar domiciliary account. And before dollar got to what it is now. What I used to do is when I have spare naira that I'm not ready to use, I go and buy dollar from the black market and then take it to go and save in my domiciliary account. That was how I was piling my dollars gradually. So if you have a particular naira, even from your salary, you can decide to say, this particular percentage of my salary every month, even if it is 10,000 naira or 5,000 naira, you just buy some few dollars, go and save it in your bank account. If you have started when dollar was 400 naira, because I started this thing when dollar was 420. That was when I started. So if you have started then and you have been putting every month to put something in your dollar account, and you have been able to save up to $1,000 in your domiciliary account, as we speak now, that $1,000, as of that time, would have cost about 420,000 naira to get $1,000. But now, that $1,000 you got for $420,000 is currently worth over 1.6 million now. It has been worth more than 1.6 million now. So that should tell you that information is key. Just like Olumide, we said that if you are not informed, you'll be deformed. If you are not updated, you'll be outdated. If you are not in the know, there's no how you can be in the flow. And information is the key to transformation. So having this account is key. You save your dollar. Now, why do I now say you have also have a mutual fund account? So this is what I do. Instead of keeping my dollars in my domiciliary account, I now move it to what they call the dollar mutual fund account. That dollar mutual fund account is like a savings account, but that you get interest either in 6 months, either in 3 months, in 6 months, or 1 year. You leave it there, but you get interest on it. So the brokers, the organization I use for my mutual fund account gives 10% for 3 months. Now, if they give 10% on 3 months, I'm not just keeping my dollar in my domiciliary account. I'm moving it into that portfolio, that investment portfolio, and getting 10% in the next 3 months. So what happens is that if you're able to get, if you have $1,000 in that account, and in the next 3 months you have 10% on it, and you can compound. So that means in a year, even though I decide not to compound, in a year, that is about 40% on my dollars. And the interest they're also paying is in dollars, not in naira. So now there are 2 ways I've actually been able to make money. Number one, I would have made money from the interest, then I would have made money from the appreciation of the dollar. Did you get that now? Yes. So as a man, we need to take this very seriously because we are working on a journey. The journey to retirement. By the time you retire, that you do not have the strength to do those physical work again. The things you have been able to build up and keep. We don't know how much dollar we get to by the time all of us here will be 60. Are you getting now? We don't know how much. But imagine if you start putting something aside every month and you get to that point and you look back and you are not just keeping it, you are getting interest on it. And you are not just getting interest on it in just your local currency, you are getting it in USD. I get me now? Continue like that till when you get to that age. You would have been able to grow your portfolio to a very reasonable point. As I said earlier, it is not easy. It is hard work. But of course, as that guy I showed you in the video, you have to be intentional about it. Now, this third account I talked about, your stock account. If you invest in ETFs or any other, so even Nigerian stock or local stock, but I do foreign stock more. I do more foreign stocks and I do more foreign ETFs. So what happens is that if you even invest in just ordinary shares of a good company, they give you dividends on a yearly basis. There are 2 or 3 ways of investing in, about 3 ways of investing in stocks. Before I talk about that, you see the reason why a lot of people have negative emotion about stock or shares is because they invested in shares or stocks the wrong way. The wrong way. Ask anybody around you that lost money in shares. Ask them if they have ever attended any seminar on shares before investing in shares. They will tell you no. Ask them if they ever read any book about shares before they invest in shares. They will tell you no. Majority of people who lost money in shares invested money bought shares because their colleague in the office bought. That's the reason why they also bought. or let me also their shares the First Bank. They also go and buy shares of First Bank. So I said, they said, Zenith Bank shares is okay. They will also go and buy. So I would say, it's MTN shares. People are buying now. Me too, I would need to buy small. They'll go and buy. They are following the crowd, buying what other people are buying without having an understanding of the kind of shares they are investing into. Some invested in shares because marketers of those companies woke up to them and said, we are now selling shares. Oh, our shares is cheap. Our shares is this. Come and buy. And then they bought from the marketer that do not even have a share. I get now. The marketer is just doing his own job. They just tell him, go and sell these shares. We need to sell this total number of quantity. So they went without having an understanding. And that's why people lost money. Because they invested into what they don't know. I get now. We have growth shares. We have dividend shares. So what are these two differences? The growth shares is you make money when the price of the shares appreciates in value. You make money. When the price of shares begin to come down, your money is also, you are also losing money. So what some people do is that when they discover that Mora share 1 million, why would they now look at it maybe next 2 weeks? They now say, share more than 1 million, how much is 800,000? Before Thomas, you want 500, before the money will get to 500, let me sell it. And so they sell the shares in loss. So that is how some people lost money in shares. But some, because the value of the shares they bought is a growth shares, if the price is not appreciating, they don't make money. Why dividend shares is when you invest in dividend shares, at the end of their calendar year, they give you dividends on the share. Either the shares appreciate in value or not, you get something on it every year. And consistently like that for a very long time. Then it now depends on the type of company you are now investing in. Some persons have been living, I have a man, I know of a man that retired at the age of 70. 70. At the age of 60, he was 70 when we met. He told me, he said, ever since he retired, every year he has been going to Jerusalem. And he goes to Jerusalem from the dividends his shares company pays him. That is what he used to travel to Jerusalem every year. So he merely collect that dividends like this. He just go take himself to pilgrimage to Jerusalem from the amount he gets from his shares. Imagine how much dividends. And I said, Baba, like how much do you receive from there? He said at times they give me like 10 million. At times I get 7 million. At times I get more than 10 million. So that is to say, Baba has accumulated a lot of shares for him to be able to be making such dividends in a year. Now, let me tell you one of the best ways to make money from shares and in any investment. When people invest in shares, as I said, people invest in shares the wrong way. Now, the best way to make money from shares, either you're investing in growth shares or dividend stocks, but on a year basis. Now, if you have a plan, if 1,000 naira to be for shares, put that down. If I 500 naira, you are buying shares 500 every month. What about shares of that? They bet for shares. So this is what. Let's say me and our guy, we decided that we want to start our shares investment journey. And he has 1 million naira. I also have 1 million naira. Look at this scenario. One share is 1,000 naira per share, for example. And I decide to buy my own shares with my own 1 million. We just retired and they gave us 1 million. Or let's say we just got a job, for example, and they gave us a startup bonus of that amount. And I bought my own share of 1 million. How many shares will I have? One share is 1,000. And I decided to buy for 1 million. I decided to buy 1,000 naira per share, and I decided to use the whole 1 million to buy shares. 1,000. No, 1,000. 1,000 units. Yes. 1,000 units. Yes. So now, this Maoga now decided that he will not buy his own share at once. So the first month, he stick to a plan. He bought he bought shares of 100,000 naira. How many shares will he have bought? How many shares will he have? 100. How many shares will I now have at that moment? I have how many shares? I have 1,000. You already have 100 shares. The next month, we are praying and happy that we hope that the shares goes up. But the shares did not go up. The share depreciated to 500 per share. How much would the value of my share worth at that time? 500,000. So he decided to buy another $100, another 100,000 naira share. How many shares will he able to get at that month with 100,000 naira? 200 shares. How much shares? What would be the total number of his shares? 300. So he's able to get 300 shares for how much? For 200,000. So he get 300 shares for 200,000, and I currently have 1,000 shares that are worth how much? 500,000. So the next month again, I do not have money to buy because I'm already discouraged that my 1 million naira has depreciated to 500,000. But at that point, the shares is still the same amount. It did not appreciate. So he decided to buy another how much? Another 100,000 naira shares for 500. How many shares will he have gotten then? 400 units. No, he had 300 before. He bought another 100 again for 500. He had 300 units before. Now the shares is now 500 naira per unit. I get me now. He now bought another 100,000. Yeah. So that is 500 units. That is 200 units added. Yes, added to the 200. Are you getting it now? So you will understand that if we continue like that, you will discover that by the time he would have exhausted his 1 million naira to buy that share, he would have gotten more shares than me. I get me now, that bought at once.
What if the share value goes up?
Wait, this is it. So if the share value appreciates, now we are talking about, that's why we are talking about investment strategy. By the end of the year, when they are going to pay dividends, they are paying dividends based on the number of shares that we have. I get now. So at the end of the year, he would have probably accumulate more shares than I do and make more money than me. Because remember, the shares we are investing on is not growth shares, it's dividend shares. So because it's dividend shares, he's making more money because he had more shares of the company than me. So me, I bought just at once. I get now. So maybe at that time, I may be angry and decide to sell my share in lost. And I've lost money. But because he's buying gradually, he will buy more shares, and also at the end of the year, when they are paying dividends, make more money from the dividends. Now, what am I bringing out there? If you are investing in shares, you don't invest at once. That is just the concept. You do not invest at once in shares. And that is where majority of people get it wrong. Ask anybody that have lost money in shares. What did they do? They had large sum of money and they used it to buy shares at once, put it into the shares at once. That is what happened. As simple as that. They just retired from service. The government gave them 10 million. I said, I'm not ready. Let me go and buy. They now bought shares of 5 million from the money at once, like that. The following month, the price of the shares begin to drop gradually. Then they don't have enough liquidity to come in to buy more. I get me now, because they're already scared. That what if they buy more and they keep losing value? Without having the right mindset that at the end of the more shares they have, they are going to make more money at the end of the year on dividends. So very, very important. You don't buy at once, you buy gradually, and then you are good and you are fine. So you must have a budget. You want to say something? So the point is, you must have a budget that you want to put into it on a monthly basis. As simple as that. Even with 1,000 naira, you can start investing in shares with 1,000 naira. So anyways, those are the accounts. Then the last account is the cryptocurrency account. I don't want to tell you how much I've made from cryptocurrency. It's huge. Honestly, it's huge. It's huge. Last year, if I did not make any money from crypto last year, I didn't make money at all in cryptocurrency last year. Let's say $15,000. $15,000. I just want to be a little bit conservative. $15K from crypto. So, if you say you don't like cryptocurrency with this generation now, it will get to a point in future, your children will ask you, Daddy, when they were doing crypto, when they were buying cryptocurrency and all that, why didn't you buy? Why didn't you even have one? My boy will be 8 years this month. I've started teaching him how to trade since December last year. He has started understanding how to trade. Because my goal for him is that once he's 8, he should be able to understand the market very well. He has started understanding. You know when to buy, when to sell. You already know. About 8 years, it will be 8 years this month in cryptocurrency. So if you don't have a cryptocurrency account, it's not good, honestly. Now, there's easiest way to make money from crypto that doesn't affect you, that doesn't affect your capital at all, and that is secured. You have rest of mind. You have rest of mind. So you need to have a cryptocurrency account. Majority of the top guys now have cryptocurrency. Majority is, I don't know what it is, but one thing I understand is that money is involving. That is one thing I know, that money is involving. So I may not really know much about cryptocurrency like that, but one thing I just know is that there is this evolution of money that have been kind of consistent for the past years. So because before, if they should tell somebody that if you hold ATM card, this card like this, you can go to anywhere and be sure that you can survive just with your card alone, without having money in your pocket, it will look strange. I get me now. Money has moved from just cash now to just ordinary card. So now, if there's a smartphone and transact anywhere, you don't need to have money in your pocket. People will win. How is that possible? But it has become possible now. I getting it now. So I just believe that money is involving. And for me, anything that has to do with money and it is legal, I like to listen and understand it. How does these things work? What are the easiest entry level? How do I, I want to know it. I ask questions. Because so far it's not as if they are arresting people and putting people in the cell because of it. Let me know about it. Are you getting it now? So there are different levels. And sincerely, it is one of the easiest way now to make money. You can wake up, you can sleep poor and wake up millionaire tomorrow. If you have crypto. Honestly. You can sleep poor and wake up rich. Okay, something happened. Let me just give us this. I bought a coin for 50,000 naira late January. And in the space of 4 days, I just woke up and checked. I was just checking and checked my wallet, and I discovered that the $50 worth, 50,000 naira worth of that particular coin I bought has become 1.8 within 4 days. 1.8 million. Can you think or imagine such growth? But in crypto, it's possible. I get now. In crypto, it's not possible. Just what I said from the beginning when we were talking about investment is high risk investment. I get now. It can give you high money, but the tendency of losing money is also there. So what I do with cryptocurrency, there's some cryptocurrency that I do, I invest with what I can afford to lose. If this money go, it will not pay me. And that money alone can be the changing of situation. As simple as 10,000 naira, 20,000 naira, just like that, just small money. But if you don't know about it, how will you even decide to just put something that you can afford to lose in? 5,000 naira. You get that 5,000 naira, you can wake up the next morning and it has become 500K. I get me now. But if you don't know about it, there's no way you can take such opportunities when they come. So that's why I said you need cryptocurrency wallet. And there are some places now you go, it is global. If I have BTC now, I have USDT now, and I travel to Dubai, I can still convert it to their currency there easily. And there are some people that will even collect it and sell something for me. They will be happy to collect it because it's a global currency. I get me now. It's a global currency. So that's why I said money is involving, and we need to position ourselves for that opportunity. That when you go to somewhere and you have crypto, you know that yes, you have money. You can get anything you want in any part of the world with cryptocurrency. All right. So please, I want to beg us before the end of this month, any of those accounts you can get, make sure you start doing them so that you can take advantage of them. So lastly, as we round off, I want to share with us 5 things you can do as men to make extra income in dollars. Sir?
How can somebody be about opening a crypto account?
Opening a crypto account. Without being scammed. Okay, we'll talk about that.
Well, we can still ask questions.
You can ask questions. We'll have time for questions. Now, let me tell you 5 things you can quickly do as men to make more money. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. And these things I want to share with you are things that I personally do myself. I am not a pro talking about analyzing the market, analyzing this and all of that, but I just do the things I know how to do that's giving me money. So I just want to share just 5. I have about 15 things, but because of time, I'll just share 5 with us. Some of them will cost you a little bit of money. Some of them will cost you much money, depending on the level you want to, your entry level. But in all, you will make money. So remember, the purpose of this event is to help men understand different ways of making money, so that as the economy gets tougher, you know you have a shock absorber that is helping you get some little money here and there to survive the economy. But that when bag of rice is 100,000 or 200,000, if you want to buy, you will not feel it. You can easily buy. Yes. So, by the special grace of God, no matter the bag of rice now, I will not, even though the bag of rice is $1,000, that is $1 million per bag of rice. By the special grace of God, I will not feel it to buy. The reason is because the only thing I just need to ask myself is to do more of these things I want to share with you, so that I will be able to meet up. Are you getting me now? As simple as that. So, the first thing is called local arbitrage. Local dollar arbitrage. We are live. I'm not supposed to share this, but I'll just share it with you guys, what I do. Yeah, local dollar arbitrage. How many persons are online? 9 or 10. No problem. They will also learn from it. Now, this is what I do. I'm a street guy. I grew up on the street. So I'm very, very street smart when it comes to making money legally on the street. I discovered a particular loophole, and I take advantage of it. So what is it? That's why I said, this account I've mentioned, you need to try and get them, because opportunity will come for you to make money. And if you don't have those accounts, you will not make money. So this is what I do. I have a domiciliary account, which is a dollar account. So I go to the abokis, they bury the change. I tell them that I want to buy dollar. Then I realize, in my course of research and all that, I realized that the higher denomination of dollars is more expensive than the lower denomination. For example, they have the $1, they have $10, they have $20, $50, $100. They have different denominations. So the ones that are cheap, the little denomination are cheaper than the bulk. Yes, $20 are cheaper. They are cheaper, naturally cheaper. So this is what I do. I go with my Naira to buy the cheaper dollar. So when I go with my Naira to buy the cheaper dollar, I buy the dollar, then I take it to the domiciliary, to my bank, and I deposit it there. So when I deposit there in that bank, then I go to another branch of the bank and withdraw it back in bulk. They give me as a whole. Then I go back to the aboki to resell. Simple. Does that make sense? You didn't get it. You didn't get the magic. So if I take it back to sell in whole, they will buy it at a more valuable rate, because I'm selling $100 to them. So they will buy $100 more with the current price. So for example now, if dollar is let's say dollar is 1.5, for example, the amount, if you want to go and sell to Aboki, you have dollar now, you want to go and sell to Bureau de Change. Let's say you sell it for 1,500 for them. I get me now. So now, if you now go that you want to buy those lower denomination, they can sell it for you for 1,350 or 1,004. I get me now. So I buy it like that. So when I buy it like that, I now go and deposit it in my domiciliary account. And then I can decide to withdraw, go back and do my play, and come back to the bank and say, oh, I withdraw it on the counter. They give me cash. Or I go to another branch and go and place withdrawal and collect my dollar. Then go back to Aboki and say, oh yeah, I want to sell. It may not be the same Abuki. It may be because they are always much. Then I'll sell at 1,005, making a profit of how much per dollar? 100 naira. So now calculate 100 naira times 100. How much profit is that? How much? Eh? 10,000 naira. So let's say I'm so busy, I don't have time. I'm able to do that 3 times in a week. I'm so busy, I'm able to do that 3 times a week. That is how much? That is 30,000. And I do that consistently for 1 month. How much is that? That is 120K. Local arbitrage. That is 120K. So, street sense. That's why I said initially I don't want it to be live, but he said he's not actually supposed to be. Yeah, it's possible. So just as simple as that. You make your money every week. So now, for example, like PSAM, okay, don't let me use PSAM as an example. Let's say, for example, you bought dollars currently right now, and one thing again is that no matter the price during the weekend, if you buy, rest assured that during the week, the price will be more than the price in the weekend. So even though it's currently high, the following week, the price will always be higher than the weekend because the demand during the week is always high. So like now that dollar is 160, 1,006 something, 640 now, and today is Saturday. It is sure that by next week it may get to 1,007 before it now probably come back to 1.6 or 1.5 or drop down. Because the way it's going now, I believe the government may want to do some intervention and then the price may come down. So if you have Naira and the price come down, that is when to buy. I get now to buy more. But what will now happen when you don't even have USDT account? When you don't have Binance account, you don't have cryptocurrency account. But there is opportunity, but you can't buy because you are not even aware, you don't even have the account to even take advantage of opportunity. You will just be hearing, I want $1 at wallet. That's $1 at wallet. How does that help your life? Are you getting me now? I want $1 sitting loss okay. So how is that one your this thing? God forgive me, I want to say something. My people are here. There was one time I was driving home with my wife. Our pastor raised a prayer point in church. Said, the way dollar is going, this and that. So we were praying that the economy should get better and dollars, the price of dollars come down. I was telling my wife, this prayer now, we pastor pray. So now, if God decides to answer this prayer now, my money will come down. The value of my money will come down. And then let us quickly sell and convert our money to Naira before God answers this prayer. So that by the time it comes down, we can buy more. We can buy more. So, but the point is that if you are an investor, whatever happens to the price of the dollar, of the current, or whatever happens to the price, it gives you an advantage to make more money. So, for example, now, I have some amount of dollars. If the price drops now, it's an opportunity for me to make more money. I will not look at it from the point of view, but lose. What I will need to do is to look for more Naira to buy more. Because the Naira I have will make me, I will be able to get more dollars. And by the time the price skyrocket back, I'll make more money. Now, let me tell you guys something. This government now, there is no solution in sight. The only thing they can do is intervention. So interventions, what do they do? What happens when they do intervention is that they push in more dollars into the economy. When they push it, it reduces the pressure on dollars. So what happens is that the price comes down. So when the price comes down, within a few weeks, it goes back up because it's just an intervention. It is not the solution to the root cause you get. So it skyrocket back. So when I see interventions like that, when I begin to hear this, the government is trying to pump in money into the economy, pumping dollars into the economy, I begin to look for who has Naira that can give me. Because I know there's an opportunity to make money. Just as simple as that. So once the price drops, I just buy one and I hold on and wait for the magic to happen. At most, within a week, you see the price begin to go back up gradually, And even now more than the price it was before. So we need to be smart as men and take advantage of these things. You get, because, pressure deal. There is pressure, and more will come. You get, that somebody I put in through this, and the guy was telling me that, thank God that I learned this, that did I know that the money, the extra, when he does, the first week he did it, he got 145,000 just within buying on Saturday and selling on Wednesday. Less than a week, he got 45,000 naira. 145,000. So he was not telling me the things he was able to do with the money. I said, that's right. Without touching his main money. Imagine if he's able to do that 4 times in a month. 145,000, although the price may not be the same, but at least he's getting something from the money that he has. It's not as if he's spending from the end income, from the money he has struggled to go and make. He's not spending from that money. Are you getting it now? So, and that is what people do. The challenge we have in this generation, and especially as men, is that we spend our end income. End income is the money, as explained to us before. So that is what we are spending, instead of the money that the end income produces for us. If you spend that one, it's more sweeter. I get now. And we also need to understand that every money we earn as salary is actually a capital for you to actually grow it. But the challenge is that majority of us, the capital, that is what we use to solve expenses in the house. So it will be difficult for us to grow financially. It will be difficult for financial freedom. Another reason is because some of us do not even know the right things to do with that money. So when it comes, we begin to look at the things that we need to solve. And before you know it, the money itself is not even enough to solve those issues. It's not enough. So we must learn how to make our money make more money for us. From Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Those 3 days, you can buy any of those days. Yes, you sell from Tuesday evening, Wednesday, and then Thursday. When it is Thursday from 2, 3, the price start dropping. The price starts dropping. Yes, I get it now. So it happens on a weekly basis. So you discover that there is money, but because you are not informed, you do not know. These are things that I've been doing for the past 2 years. I get me now. But when I see people complain, economy low, ole gan o, ole oloma, Tinubu yi, Tinubu yi, I did something very funny. I called one of my guys. He was campaigning for Tinubu. This and that. I was campaigning for Tinubu. Then he be telling me, I don't have any issue with Tinubu or Obi or anybody. I'm not a political fan and all of that. The only thing, just like what I said before, is that I am the government of my family. I get me now. Be family, I family me at I me ma da. I get now. So, so when eventually Tinubu won, he was very happy and all of that. So we celebrated. Then last month, January, I think around first week of January, I called him. We were having a conversation. I said, I want Tinubu and all of that. So I said, I have a friend, and I called him and put it on speaker. So let us, maybe this guy is getting special allowance from. I said, I was telling Ogana, I was telling, and I now call him that, money, and I said, get it. And I said, how do I get APC membership card? Because I know that you are an APC member. It's our APC membership card. I'm not a member, but I need the card. I needed the card. And I said, what do I want to use the card for? And I said, I heard that there is a market that they used to sell bag of rice for 45,000 naira to anybody that goes with APC card. The guy just is on the phone, just is on the phone. Oh, serious. Oh, that market is me, I did not know about it. I said, wait, you mean you are not buying rice for 45,000? You say, so what am I even saying? Said, that is that what I said, that is what I'm looking for where to buy rice at a very cheaper rate now. Because I'm sure that somebody like you are not buying the same rice that we are buying. You say, as he's telling me like this now, there has been long that I even bought Congo of rice. Before I used to buy but now cup. Say wife see cup. That is the family manage. So the bottom line is that the economy is affecting both APC, PDP, Labour Party, everybody. So they don't have a special place they go for this thing. He said that he has not even for transportation to even go to Abuja self to go and even say he wants to lobby for it, he does not even have. I say okay. So that tells us that see, it is you, yourself, and your family. You have to make sure that you get the right information that will put money in your pocket and give your family the best life that they desire. It's all about you, honestly. So I hope we are getting back so far. All right, so the second with the dollar arbitrage is very, very good on Binance. I use Bybit. You buy during the weekend, you sell during the week. Very simple. You make money. I move on. Then on that again, the more the capital, the better. The reason is this: it's secured. You are the one in charge. You buy and sell. This is your money. So you buy and sell anytime. You are the one in charge. It's very, very secure, and you are the one in charge of your money. You are the one doing it. And you don't need to be looking for who to buy. There are lots of people that are waiting to sell to them. Thousands. For P-Sam to say he has been enjoying it, he will not come and talk something that he has not benefited from. I get me now. We never say that. So then moving away from that, the account. I will send the link. Don't worry, we'll look at that. Let me be sure I'm not. Okay. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is another way to make dollar is to open an app called the Bamboo app. I use the Bamboo app to save Bamboo. Yes, the third way to make dollars. Now, what do I do with this app? What I do in the app is that I save in dollars. Use my Naira. It is easier for you to use your Naira to convert your Naira to dollars. Yes, on the app. It's very, very easy. You save it in dollars. Once you put it in Naira, you're going to get to the account, it becomes dollars.
So from there, now you can transfer it to the beneficiary.
No, you cannot transfer to the beneficiary account. But what I do with that is to just put it, they have a program that they do for 3 months, 6 months, and 1 year. And they pay you the interest also in dollars. I get me now. They also pay you the interest in dollars. So that's what I say. Some of you that have Naira in your account, and you're thinking of how to convert, that's one of the easiest way you can convert it, and then put it in that particular portfolio for like 3 months. When you are getting interest, you are getting it back in dollars. You get it now. So it is safe. So if you have a way, you have some Naira, instead of keeping it, now the truth of the matter is, as you are keeping within that 3 months, the price of dollar will have also gone up. So you are also getting value for the increment of the dollar, instead of leaving the money in Naira in your local bank account. Did you get that now? So these are just few things that will also help us to. Yes. No, you are not using Bamboo app to buy USDT. Bamboo app is US dollars, it's not USDT. The USDT is the one I say the cryptocurrency app. That's when you need. Yes, Bamboo is an app that I use to buy shares. I use it for my ETF. I also use it to save, to convert my Naira to dollars. Yes. Yes, from Bamboo. Yes, you can do those 3 things on Bamboo. Yeah. Then the fourth one is, this one is very, very risky, but I must tell you that for me, I've been using it now for a year and 6 months now. So you can also take advantage of it if you have the ability to. Because that's why I first talked to us. You see, some of these I've been mentioning, low risk is there, medium risk is there, high risk is also involved. You get. So this one I want to talk about now has to do with high risk. The return is also great, but the risk is high. But I've never actually experienced any loss, actually. But the tendency of loss is there. But for me, I have not experienced. So what is it? It's actually a boot, a trading boot for Forex. I have the boots. I have boots that I use that trades on my behalf without me being there. So they generate dollar for me on a daily basis, Monday to Friday. Trading boots. Yeah. Yeah, it's Forex boot. So it generates money for me Monday to Friday on a daily basis, Monday to Friday. So, but like for that one now, for me now, I have about 3. I have one in my car because my car has a screen. So I probably have one in my car. So every expenses on the car, the fueling and every other thing, the money I generate from that boot in the car is what I use for buying of fuel and all of that maintenance. So I'm not going to use Peter to rob Paul. No, let everybody pay his own bills. So that is how it is. So the one in the car, once any profit is there, I'm trying to make sure that it goes to a point. I sell the car, add money to what the boot has traded, buy another car. Are you getting that? So, but for now, the money for fuel is all the receipt for my fuel is inside the car. If I bring it, the little time I bought my car till now, if you see the receipt way, I don't roju to buy fuel because I know the vehicle is doing the work. It's producing the money for the fuel itself. You get it now. So, and if anything comes up, the money is there for it to fix it. It's not as if I'm now looking for, I'll now park the car and be looking for where to get money to fix it. The car is working.
How is the car making the money?
Yes, I have a screen. My car is, there's a trading booth in the car that makes money on its own. Yes, the car has a screen, Android screen. Yes. So the car has an Android screen. So I installed the trading app on the Android screen of the car. I get me now. So remember, it's a boot. So it buys and sells the trade on its own without me being involved. So the only thing I just need to do is to check it at the end of the day to see how much he has made. That's all.
So it can only make profits, it cannot make a loss.
Yeah, that's why it's a boot. It has been programmed to always make profit. You get, it has been programmed to always make profit. But there's tendency that it may make loss. But that's what I'm saying, that for the past 1 year and 6 months, it has never made loss. I get me now. But because I have the mindset, pé bó ṣe wà yìí o, ó lè dọjọ́ kan kiri pé but whatever even happened, I will make that money over and over and over and over again. I get me now. That's why I say it's high risk, because there's tendency. It's not as if you are losing the money, you are going to lose money, but there's tendency that the market may go somehow, and then on the boat also has what they call the risk management structure. So the risk management on the boat is that when it picks trade to a particular amount, it knows your capital. If it doesn't say that it doesn't have enough capital, it doesn't pick trade again until the ones it has picked at entered profit. That is when it will pick another one. You get. So in a way, it's also trying to provide, it's also doing what they call the risk management on your account. So it doesn't pick more trade until your account is in profit. That's when it picks another trade. So, yeah. So I have about 3 of them. And as a matter of fact, the least it has made is about $10 in a day. $10. So now if you do the plus and minus, I'm coming to that. Yes. So let's first talk about the profits first. The least is $10. $10, let's say $10 times 5, that is how much? That is $50. $50 times 4 in a month. That is $200. So $200 with the current exchange rate of 1,640. Let somebody do the math. $1,640 times 200. $328. Regularly without any work. So that as it is now produce nothing less than $328 in a month. Now, the sweet part, that's why I say minimum. Minimum. Minimum, at times it has made $30 a day. It has made $90 a day before. So now times that amount times 3. No, it works on my phone too. I have it on my phone also. 984. Now, the reason why I say you should calculate that is because I have 3 of the boots.
So at least those 3 are making
Minimum, that amount. So, minimum. So, even though I decide that I'm not leaving my house for 1 week, for 1 month, I'm not going out for 1 month. I know that 1 million is guaranteed. I get my wife will eat, my family, my children will eat, they will go to school, they will do anything they want to do with rest of mind. And she also doing her own. Yes, I get in fact, she's also, I've even compelled her that from next month, she also needs to activate at least 1 or 2 boots, so that some things will come up with, let me know what I'm making. Now, the reason is this. Let me tell you something. That day I was talking about that I said peace and, that I woke up a bit of night, I was talking about positive rebellion. That peace and preach about positive rebellion. You see that night, before that time, I used to think that when I see people online say, they make $1,000, they're making $1,000, I used to think that it's mystery. Oh, they actually making $1,000 online. And that was when dollars was even 420 naira. Not even now. Making $1,000. $1,000 look like big money. I now told myself, as of that time, I now wrote, just like the way every successful people have done, the same thing I did. I pick up my checkbook. I have a corporate account that has checkbook. So I now wrote a 1 million naira check to myself and pasted it on the wall. And said, 1 million, I will make you in a month. So I pasted it. I was looking at the check like this. Every time it's on the dining table, I'll be looking at 1 million naira like this. It was a mystery then. But at the Koja level, but the point is, my next goal now is this. My next goal for 2024, my financial goal is that by the end of this year, anything possible, I want to make sure I make 1,000. I want to get to a point where I make $1,000 in a day. That is the goal now. That I want to get to a point where I make $1,000 in a day. That is $30,000 in a month. That is the goal. So $1,000 a day is about 1.6 million in a day, without leaving my house. That's the goal. Without leaving my house, I'm not there yet, but I'm working towards it gradually. 1 million naira a month In fact, 1,000, then it was not even $1,000 a month then was like a mystery. Then, because now let's say make $1,000, now let's say make $10,000. You see somebody say make $10,000 online, $10,000. It must be not small money, even up till now. Even then, somebody say make one. Yes. In a month. But bro, when I made $15,000, I know that $50,000 is possible. It's possible. So the journey started. So that's why I'm now shifting the. So now, if you're talking about $1,000, issue of $1,000 it's not even the matter of $1,000 in a month anymore. $1,000 within the space of within the space of a week, 2 weeks, $1,000 is already achieved. Even without these other things I'm putting into play. So it's a mindset thing. The next goal now is $1,000 every day. That is the next goal. So I want to advise us, if you can get it, you may struggle to get it. It's a little bit expensive actually, but it will pay off. See? Sir? They say what? Yeah, the trading boot. It's a little bit expensive and the price is going up on a regular basis. When I first got mine, I got it for $50, but now the current price is $200. Yeah, $200. And the minimum capital I can trade with is also $200. That's $400. But one of the things I can do, I have the leverage to some extent to make a provision for anybody who needs it to pay the boot, to pay twice for the boot. So when you have your fund, it's better you have the boot. But the other thing again is that you also pay monthly maintenance of $30 on the boot. That is one. And then every 6 months you renew the boot. The price to renew is cheaper. You get, but the point is that you have the boot already. You get, and the reason for the monthly maintenance is to make sure that it's always in profit. You get, yes, to make sure that the boat is always in profit. So then another thing again is that people can team up, 1 or 2 persons. But it has to be with one person. So the issue of trust also needs to come into play. You get, if 1 or 2 persons are teaming up. Husband and wife can team up, yeah, like that. So to have one. So then as time goes on, you can now have 2, that's have 3. My goal is to have 10 actually. That is where I'm. If I can have 10, then I can say that to some extent, my vision of $1,000 a day only will materialize gradually. Yeah. So.
That $200 as start of capital investment.
Yes.
That's when you can get minimum $10 a day.
Yes, minimum $10. Yes. $200. With $200. Yes. Minimum. At times it's $50. At times it's $80. Within a week, you can get to capital depending on how the market is. Yes. And the boots. It's less than put a structure on family. So what I think is that apart from just expenses and what I eat with produce on so do that and I'm $1 million that one. $10 times the food trade in it. In $1,000. $2,000 times 1,000. Don't put that. 1 4 times that. 1. We now 10 boots. Times 5 is times a month. That minimum goes up more. Both does more. That is minimum. That is straight. $10,000. $50 in the boots. Yeah. Simply, that is why I get 10 books. Just start. If you have it, it's something. But just what is possible. And what happens is money is that difficult and stressful that you have to do things and for necessary because to make some amount of money. You get it now. And guess what? If you channel your income in Nigeria, you enjoy life. Yes. Income is a better income. And in Nigeria, you enjoy life now. Yeah, you in life. All right. Yes. Profit from the amount you have now. No, we talk about how much you make. Before you about profit is a long time thing. Yes. And even if that is the case, if you are not your investment, even back in the fourth now, it's still okay.
That means what that means is before the end of the first 2 months,
Equal. Yes. 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 Investment. And it will be more than average on us. Yes. So right. So that is then lastly is YouTube. Yes, on the YouTube channel. There are other things like about you making from. I'll show you some of my phone. Let me do some quick. So I want to do this. See, let me do this. You see, this they not even, I didn't check my videos in January, not, but you see, a payment set your way. Estimate payment February 21, 6. And your tax, I'm getting $244.31. I know. So this is another one loading here. You get it now. You know, February earning. This one is for January. February earning is loading. I know. And what it means that you don't even upload video. You get 2 4. So this is someone. So please calculate 44.31 times 1,640. Yeah. 0.31 times 1,640. 400 plus. I get me now. Just small. No, just because I own it. I know. I do not be hardly be rushing out the money and leaving my. I get me now. Just because of owning you, at the end of the month, my family will be all right. I don't know if you can. Yes, okay, now tell me if your price 100,000, did you buy? And 6 miles. I get me now. So when people are complaining, people say, oh, yeah, no, what is telling you? I even guys is. I want you get that one. If you have the content, you get it sharp. No. So you see, February payment is loading. Are you getting it now? February payment will come in for that 26. February payment is already loading to constant and like that. So as banks are struggling to go through from me till for telling you. Honestly, that's nice you. They'll be on the salary. So you see, making money has become so easy. It's now left for us as men to take advantage of this. You know, see, again, it's something that the rest of the man has when life is not money. You understand? The brutal. Don't pray to experience such just you know. I mean, about so Ozu guy. Ozu. Yeah. Ozu. Honestly. Well, I don't go time you say, will come out. You woman. You don't die. You are just living. Yes, so guy. Men, please, if you are married, please hustle. Honestly, hustle. On the one I'm married, opportunity to put yourself in the world. By the time you before you enter into what time, the pampers, now you die for so no, you can't reach down. You say 5 get one small pack where baby goes poop. We didn't have any this thing. Don't finish. Honestly, imagine. If you don't have shock absorber, you see, investment. That's what it loss in a month. No, you know what pampers you die power. What about the other way go? I don't know. About so you know, you get to a point you buy 1,000 in your law. You don't even marry me, or you will be talking to yourself. Thank you. I like here. Imagine just know. See, it was you. You go take your wife na block. Understand? That's the situation. You are just like when you are talking and you just think you are just calculating okay back bullet by man. Your wife now tell you that continue to live that thing. Some even think about not inject what also thing you have for and even enough. You know that you are coming you even you just come and you prepare for just like that. You want to plan for them. But you have to spend it. Honest, I know that travel. That is not your business. The important thing is go just shout it was. Catch you normal. Let's go online. Let's check some of this. I put people online. Can we on this system? Now when they use test, you every you try. Sharp, you do. So have a jump with. All you do is to bandit. Showtablet.com. It's off. Tablet.com. That's where you can use it on your channel. You don't even want making content. So many things you can do. So many things. So many. In fact, you can be playing. Some people they like listening to this rain. That's on YouTube. Just videos of rain like past. You know, people are shocked. Why people cannot live in that noise? So they play it and sleep off. And you are more doing that. So I just putting it. Before you sleep, you don't putting it there. People are copying this and putting it on the channel and making money on the monthly. I get it now. Yes, some comments of message they go pollination. You just for men of God. You look at watching it and getting it for me. No. You have to one they call niche. Either you are in the sports niche, or you are in the health niche, or you are in the content niche. And you can have channels. But you start with one. It's not me. But this is down. It's not showing. Yeah, Yeah. 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 Message. You. And you're going to watch. And just people from this side that just because I own a YouTube channel, how much I in. So if not go out the money piling up, I getting it. Start only worth $5 as September in. But by April, after $8,000 from you, I get it now. These are things that you do and you will have to them. No, until you break through it. But you know that you give it best until. Because on the tele and not soft to bad day. On my soft for 100, it's all something that just came in like that. So you know why imagine. And it doesn't know the none. So but anyway, so you pay in wọlé, gun wọlé, tún wọlé, and she clean arbitrate and she. So they why they down. On the money. Now this platform you can use to analyze what you are making and say so please can let's do McKinsey comedy. They are from Africa. One India. So put McKinsey, let some of those guys make it. McKinsey, okay. $10,000. You will see it here. That $1,000 is now. You will see it. Scroll on please. Let's see. You're correct. Now this is it here. Estimated revenue. Estimate in $2 2 plus $40. So they say estimated that is more than $42,000. Because I know if they estimate, what I used to earn is more than what they say estimate. So if they estimate now, let's less than $10,000. Bro, do the math. 140. 40. Let's not talk to the $4,000. 40,000 in month. So I see people build a mother buy her. She's one of the richest here. Yes, okay, we can even check Manuel and see how much you see. You get, but let's even that. Now, see, she yearly estimated earning 31,000 plus 540K yearly earning online, and it makes on too. So now that it no, just what's the so just from it, make money. Let's check another YouTuber I want to check. Shaggy, let's do Shaggy and see. Or macaroni. So those are comedy, actually are comedy, but I want to also people check Google and do research. But let's just check this ones. See what other people are doing on YouTube and they are making money. So this lady now, she's making $5. Let's ask her, she's making $5. $5,000 minimum 8.2 million. Shake out 10, 16.4 every month. This same to do the gym. They are making Facebook. And here they all people are so pay I want to share that here brand awareness. Not yes, in your symbol. So it makes more money than another. But it makes money than